Hello, everybody. It's the owner of Stellar Network. Some of you probably don't know me. Um, that's because I've been very inactive for the past probably over a year, maybe 2 years. I haven't really touched this server. Um, I've given minimal direction to the current staff and to Brad, but I haven't been involved in this server in a very long time. I started this server when I was 14 years old, um, on spring break, going almost going into my freshman year, so I was in 8th grade. And now I'm going into my sophomore year of college and am just turned 19 years old. I am making this video today because there is a major issue with the way this server is being run right now, and there's a major issue with the content that we have and what we're providing to the players. And I want to address some of this and, you know, make some promises that I haven't been able to make in the past 2 years because I've been so busy with other things. Um, I've always had time to work on the server, but not enough motivation to do so. And today, I feel like I owe you guys some explanations and also some, promises and like what to expect for the future of Naruto or Naruto Clash. Now, I'm not good at making videos. I don't really know how to. I'm just gonna talk to you guys and explain some things to you. I'm just gonna sit down and talk to you guys about this shit. So, what I want to talk about first is one of our biggest issues, and it's player retention. Now, we have players playing this server. Sometimes we'll have 5, sometimes we'll have 25. It really depends on the day and the time and, how much interest there is. But what I really want to discuss is not the casual players, because the casual players will never run out of content. The guys who play maybe 1 or 2 hours a week, they're never going to run out of content. I mean, it's going to take months and months and months and months of playing to get there. But for the guys that play 5, 6 hours a day, they can get through this server in a week. And that's not acceptable. We have a lot of content that we've developed over the past almost 5 years, but it's too fast, it's too meaningless. There's not enough substance to a lot of it. And that's by no means saying it's not fun. It's definitely fun, and I know a lot of you agree with me on that, but it needs to be changed, and we need to address this issue. And what I really want to talk about in regards to that is the players that have come and go, have gone through this stuff, have made friends on this server that they still talk to and will always talk to for years, have had fun experiences, have built amazing things, and have genuinely just had a good time. So, here's what's going to happen. First, I'd like to show you guys this base. Now, this base is special to me when I first saw it because it's something that a large group of players did together and contributed to. And I feel like that's awesome because there's not enough of that on this server. People think that you just play, you do your quests, you grind, and that's it. I mean, there's nothing left to do after that. And I understand that mindset, but there is a lot left to do. And let's just look at these guys. Neptune, right? Look at the stuff he's wearing. Look at this. This stuff takes hours to collect. I mean, he's wearing armor that, most players will never have the chance of getting. At least not the casual players. And look at this guy, all-around gamer 247. I mean, he's got Kisame, he's got the truth-seeking balls, the special truth-seeking balls. He's got Gaara's little thing. I mean, he looks sick, as well as all of these guys. I mean, he's got the Senju hands on the back, the Uchiha cloak, Obito's mask. and the Rasengan. That's awesome. You know, all of these guys, I could give a shout out to every single one of them. They all look really cool. But the problem is, a lot of these guys have left and have gone to other Naruto servers or have quit the scene entirely. And that's a problem. You know, these guys, you know, contribute to the server more than a lot of the staff did by helping players, by grinding, by keeping the server up. You know, Spiken, he's still a staff member, but, you know, as a player, he's been one of the best players that we've had. As well as Monker here. This is Monker's base, and I'm sure Monker's going to be so happy that I'm talking about it, but, you know, this is truly like almost a work of art. That something like this was made. That players came together and made this on the server that I made when I was 14. And I feel like I owe it to specifically players like this to make something that's still enjoyable and still fun. So they can, you know, come back with their friends and have a good time again. And that's when I want to, you know, go into the promises. The way the server is structured right now is, you know, you log on, you get your clan, blah, blah, blah. You do your quests, and then you grind. Now, that in and of itself isn't an issue, but there needs to be horizontal progression. All we have right now is vertical progression. So you start on the bottom and you go up until you're the strongest. We have nothing to do on the side that makes the game more fun and enjoyable. And what I want to do with that is I want to incentivize players to come and do things like this. Make villages, hang out with their friends, build stuff, etc. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to remove the survival of this game. Right now, this is basically survival Minecraft. When you come into this world, you just build whatever you want. I want to make it easier for players to build things like this. I'm going to add a thing for players to get. It'll probably be based off of like if you have a village, if you have X amount of people, maybe if you have 5, 6 people, you'll be able to get this. And it'll be basically a creative mode, but only in your village. And the way I'm going to do this is something called Townie. Now, Townie is a plugin that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. It's a swing on factions. I'm going to implement this. We're going to get rid of grief prevention, which is the stuff you guys use right now. The golden shovel with the claim system. I know a lot of you have had issues with that, where you've, you know, went on vacation for 2 weeks and, you know, your base got unclaimed. Someone took all your shit, so you quit. I mean, that's a pain in the ass. Like, sure, I can make it so that doesn't happen, which, I mean, I'm sure I'll do, like, right after this video, but, you know, I want something that's better. So Townie will allow me to give you guys things that you don't have already, and that'll be the first step to making the server more enjoyable. The second step is I'm getting rid of crate keys and stuff like that. Now, the problem with crate keys, sorry, I need to hit my vape. The problem with crate keys is that it's an outdated system. A lot of servers are still using it, but nobody has progressed past this. And I know a way to. I used to play a server a long, long time ago, and they had something called prized eggs. And prized eggs are something that you could either buy in the store or obtain through killing bosses or, you know, doing quests, etc. And I don't know if they're actually going to be eggs or something. They're going to be an item that's going to act like this. It's basically you're going to be able to right-click the item, and you'll get a random reward, right? Maybe good, maybe bad, who knows. Depends on your luck. That's going to completely remove our crate key system. It's going to make it so everything in these eggs is obtainable to anybody. Whether you buy them or you get them from killing bosses. I'm going to make a lot of the armor in this game more generalized. So right now these ranks have Otsutsuki armor and Amaterasu armor, etc. I want there to be more clear armor paths. you know, like one set of armor that's like the best, and then one that's like not the best, and then one that has like attributes that like, okay, I have the best armor, but this armor does like other things that like this armor does better than the best armor, and like stuff like that, you know? Like a set of armor that, I'm just spitballing here, that can make you jump 20,000 feet in the air. Something like that. You know, not exactly that, but, you know, something like that. You know, the best armor is going to be so you don't die as quick, but other armor can make it so you have just like better attributes or whatever. I'm going to change the forms up. The forms that we have right now aren't bad, but we heavily rely on armor customization. So like a lot of these guys are wearing different pieces of armor, and that's like not great. What we're gonna have is items that you could cycle through. So we're gonna have like one specific form item, and then all of our forms are gonna be binded to that one item. So like that item is the only thing you need to get to activate your forms. And the forms are going to be updated. We're going to make better looking forms, forms that incorporate a lot of these armors, you know, and stuff that gives better buffs, you know, not just, you know, you buy 10 tails and you get the best buffs in the game. I mean, and then that 10 tails buff just nullifies every other armor. We're going to make them all do different things, and it's going to be much more enjoyable and much more balanced. I also want to focus on a PvP aspect. There's not a lot of PvP going on in this game, and I want to incentivize that more, so we're going to be looking into doing stuff like that. And we're also going to be, you know, changing the structure of the server. It's not going to be just quests. It's not going to be just doing this or that. It's going to be fun stuff to do, and you guys will all be able to experience it very soon. When this new clan update comes out, I know you guys have heard a lot about it. I'm going to be talking with Brad and talking with Not Funny, and we're going to be changing how that's executed a little bit. And we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to have beta testers for that, and if you guys don't like it, we'll change it, etc. The goal of this video, and the goal of me talking about all of this stuff, and the goal of me coming to Monka's base to show you guys this, is that Stellar is still going strong. There's just a lack of attention to it, and I intend to come back and give more of my attention to this place because it's a great place, and you know, many memories and friends have been made here, and I want that to continue happening for the younger generations and for the older generations. And apart from Naruto, that's all I have to say for Naruto. You guys will be getting updates through announcements and through teasers and stuff like that soon. I also want to announce SAO. Now, I know I don't have a great track record with announcing servers. I've announced Hunter x Hunter, I've announced One Piece, I've announced Black Clover, etc. And none of them have ever come out. In my defense, Black Clover almost came out. We were about 75% done with that server. It was for sure coming out. Almost all of our builds were done. A lot of our magic spells were finished. And all the server files got corrupted and we didn't have a backup. Now that's in part my fault because I didn't have a backup, but it's also some other people's fault for corrupting the server. But I do want to announce SAO because SAO is something that only one server is really diving into. And it's something that we can do. It's something I can really use my creative ambition for. And as we speak, we have people writing scripts and quests for SAO. We have builds being planned, etc. And right now, all of it's just being planned, and we need help planning it. We need staff that will get involved with SAO and help us out because we can't just do it. We need people to help us. Like, I'll tell you guys one thing, like, for our staff system, every 10 floors, there's going to be one GM that focuses on the players on that floor. So if you're on floor 1, or if on floor 2, up until 10, one GM is going to be responsible for helping you. And tickets are going to be sorted through a website where you'll get much quicker response time, and one staff is going to be responsible for you. That staff will have incentive to take care of you very quickly, and he will also have one helper that will be able to work with you. Once you get to like the 11th floor, you'll have two other guys that are more responsible for helping you. It's going to be a much more clean system. We'll have less staff to worry about. You guys won't see the staff as much because I know that takes away from, the experience. Seeing staff online and talking and doing all that takes away from the experience and the immersion of the server. So in SAO, we're completely removing that. GMs will be completely invisible at all times, but they will be there. They will be watching, and they will be making sure all the players are having fun and there's no issues. But they'll all be invisible. They won't be talking in chat. And none of them will be really interacting with the players in-game. Another thing about the GMs on SAO is all of the GM accounts, which will be 10 of them, will all be owned by me. They won't be owned by the person running them, but they'll be owned by me. And all of these GM accounts will have their own in-game name that's separate from the person that works on this GM account. So say Brad is a GM on the 6th floor. He will have an account provided by me with a completely different name, and he will work on that account. Nobody's going to know Brad is a GM. Brad won't tell anybody. Only the staff members will know who's a GM. And this will be to make sure there's no staff abuse, and also an immersion thing to let the GM actually play on their own accounts, on their main accounts, without having to worry about staff privileges. And that ties back into Monker here. Monker stopped doing all this. He stopped playing the game. He stopped working on his village because he wanted to become a good staff. And he did. But that's not something I want. I don't want becoming staff to take away from the experience of playing this game. That's all I have to say. And just look forward to what's to come. A lot of things are going to come soon. You guys can expect SAO this summer. And, more information will be about that soon. Available about that soon.